The FIFA World Cup is the biggest football tournament on Earth. So when FIFA decided to increase the number of teams from 32 to 48, it wasn't just a small update. It completely changed the tournament. And that's why so many fans are confused. More teams sounds simple, right? Well, not exactly. Because adding 16 extra countries creates a chain reaction that affects qualification, the group stage, the knockout rounds, and even the chances of winning the trophy. So why did FIFA make this change? And what exactly changes now? Let's break it down in just a few minutes. For most of World Cup history, only 32 teams qualified. That meant many good national teams never made it to the tournament. FIFA looked at that and thought, what if more countries got a chance? In theory, it sounds great. More nations, more fans, and more excitement. And honestly, it's hard to argue against seeing more countries on football's biggest stage. But this is where it gets interesting. Adding more teams doesn't just mean adding more matches. The entire structure has to change. With 48 teams, the World Cup becomes the largest in history. Instead of 8 groups of 4 teams, there will now be 12 groups of 4. That's a huge difference. Suddenly, there are more matches, more storylines, and more opportunities for surprise teams to make headlines. You know the type. The underdog nobody expects, suddenly beating a football giant and making the whole world pay attention. Now let's talk about qualification. This is one of the biggest reasons FIFA expanded the tournament. More spots mean more countries can qualify. Asia gets more places. Africa gets more places. North America gets more places. Even smaller football nations now have a realistic chance of reaching the World Cup. In practice, this means fans from more countries stay engaged because their team actually has a shot. And from FIFA's perspective, that's a very smart move. But here's the part most people don't realize. The path to becoming world champion also changes. With more teams and more knockout matches, winning the World Cup becomes even harder. Teams must survive a longer journey against more opponents. This sounds simple. It isn't. One bad game can still send a favorite home. And now, there are even more chances for surprises along the way. Of course, not everyone loves the idea. Some fans worry that adding more teams could lower the overall quality of matches. Their argument is that weaker teams might create less competitive games. That's a fair concern. But on the other hand, people said similar things when the World Cup expanded in the past, and football kept producing unforgettable moments. Sometimes, the teams nobody believes in create the biggest stories. So when you look at the bigger picture, FIFA didn't expand the World Cup just to make it larger. They expanded it to make it more global. More countries get opportunities. More fans feel connected. More matches create more drama. And ultimately, football reaches more people around the world. So let's go back to the original question. Why did FIFA add 48 teams to the World Cup? Because they wanted the tournament to include more nations while making the competition bigger than ever before. One decision changed everything. The format, the qualification process, and the road to the trophy. The real question now is this. Will the expanded World Cup create more unforgettable moments? Or will it make football's biggest tournament too big? Let me know what you think. And if you enjoy simple sports explainers that make confusing topics easy to understand, make sure to subscribe for more.